So I wanted to answer here. You make a lot of really legitimate points, and I definitely feel your pain. Uh, the Grinder app, it was developed to support broken addictive behavior. And it's kind of sad if you spend any time. I mean, when I've downloaded the apps, it lasts about 10 minutes to the point where I just can't stand it. It's not really something I'm interested in anyways, hooking up with folks. I'd like to have some kind of more of a social outlet than I do currently, but I never find that particular platform pleasing in any way. But it does support a lot of addictive behavior. And I don't want to kind of attach myself to your train here, but as an elder queer, my insight maybe might be a little helpful. We miss a lot of stuff that the normal, the heteronormative kids get. And even though I'm a fairly chagrined in the gay community, heteronormative queer, we miss all that youthful exploration of love and crushes and all that stuff that our heteronormative peers get. And it doesn't allow us that kind of experimental development where we can learn to be functional in that regard. And that in itself creates dysfunctional around our lack of legitimacy as human beings. We don't get to behave openly as we are, and it creates a lot of really dysfunctional behaviors. Some people are naturally more feminine, straight, gay, whatever, and some people are naturally what we consider more masculine. But we so often in our community are just confused about our normalcy and just our worth as human creatures. And we create these horrendous stereotypes quite often that mirror the stereotypes that we were abused with, as children, almost as a badge of honor, thumb in the finger, at society saying, well, if I'm illegitimate and can never be trustworthy, and if I'm going to be sexually obsessed, well, let me be it the most fabulous way I can. So sadly, as this defense mechanism almost, I think we create these really sad, broken stereotypes, because the hardest thing for humans, not just homosexuals or same-sex attracted people or trans people, it's for everyone. And the normal heterosexual people have a lot more ability to learn and develop, integrity in their legitimacy, which we don't. But it still remains a very difficult thing for us just to be true to ourselves, just be honestly and open about who we are as ourselves, and to own our own failings and our own strengths, and not believe our strengths are ego. It creates a lot of really hyper dysfunction in our community that we just can't be legitimately us, whether and life in certain ways, the best parts of life are all the mundane daily things, like being able to have a safe place to live and plenty to eat, and be able to walk out into the world safely and have a safe place to have a poo and all that kind of stuff that we kind of take for granted, a lot of us. And when we can't just honestly be ourselves without play acting or adding on any kind of mask, and we should all be aware, watching, our heterosexual peers, that a lot of people are trained to put on these masks that kind of end up really damaging the truth of our own humanity. So what you express, it's really quite legitimate. Not that you need me to legitimize it. It is very difficult to have an awareness in a community that is built on the dysfunctionality of our dysfunctionality. You know what I mean? Like, we double down on that dysfunctionality, that our identity is about being hypersexual beings and being, wearing costumes and being extra fabulous. And it's really quite a lot of responsibility to live up to when, I don't know about you, but for me, I just want to be able to function like a normal human being in society and go out and watch a movie every now and again and go grocery shopping. I mean, I am in what I pursue, my interest. I'm a creative human being, and uh, and I'm intelligent, and I love all those wonderful extra things we can do as human beings. But at the end of the day, basically, I don't want my sexuality to be what my life is about. I want it to be normal for me to walk through life having this sexuality and being able to express it just as a portion of the way I express. Just like anyone, I should be able to be attracted to the person I want to be attracted to. And if it's mutual, we should be able to interact in that way, but it shouldn't be a thing. And that's the thing that I find difficult in the gay community. We don't need to be separate yet fabulous. I think the illness that we're working through, which it is kind of a social illness, is how to just be okay, just being normal folk. And the truth of normal folk is that we're all wired a little differently, and we all look a little differently, and we all have different wants, needs, and hurts and experiences, but it makes this wonderful, rich tapestry of experiencing physical living on this plane. But it is very difficult if what you're looking for is just to be express yourself as a loving, normal human being with in the same sex attracted community that is so broken and so spends so much time and energy self medicating and avoiding the tough reality of working through our brokenness and the pain we experience growing up, being excluded from the kind of legitimacy of normalcy. So hang in there, bud, though. I mean, you probably hear people from my generation all the time talk about how easy you have it. I mean, I moved at 1819 to San Francisco, which was then like the gay mecca of the world. That was like 1982, somewhere around then. And I still got my ass fag bashed around the Castro, the heart of the gay world at the time. It was a much more difficult time. And those of us that were like me stood up and were pounded for just being who we are, so that it could be easier for all of us just to walk through life just being who we are, because that's what the human struggle is about, right? That even straight, gay, whatever, we all have trouble just standing up and being able to own our own truth and our love, our pain, our joy, all that stuff. Humans have a great way of overcomplicating everything, but don't let it get you down. You're young and you have so much going for you, and we just it's not so much keeping up the fight, but we have to keep asserting that it's okay, that we are who we are. And I hope for your sake that you find your group or your person where you can share that functional, really fulfilling love, not just sexually and that intimately, but intimately human to human. So just wanted to reach out, my brother, my young gay brother, and say, hang in there. I love you. Take care. And remember, a lot of blood and pain has gone into bringing us to where we are now today. So peace, love you, and you love you.